All right, we're back. So we'll see. I didn't really know it would cut me off like that because my first live thing. So, um, okay. So I'm back here and I see. Ooh, CL Stars just joined. And boy, what I'm gonna tell you something that's great about CL Stars is we've had a number of athletes, Cameron Burrell, Elijah Hall, that among others, Curtis Brown, who started with CL Stars, went to U of H, and got their degrees, did well NCAA, and went on to the next level, some of them. And Curtis is doing really well, great kid in the family. He got his degree, and he has his own company, so go follow him, Curtis Brown. But think about it. They spent their whole life in track and field, in the system. And that's something I always wanted to do. When I started coaching, I really wanted to make sure that we focused on the life part of it. So we talk about, with CL Stars, we talk about the kids, what it's going to be like to get to college and go beyond. And we also give little clinics. I know Leroy and, Cameron and Elijah and all these guys go back and help those kids. So it's CL Star is a great program. It's well-rounded, and I'm really proud that Joe DeLoach asked me to be a part of it. And the coaches do a great job. And so I'm just happy that I'm involved with a program that's doing the same things my parents did for me, because as many of you know, my mother and father started Willing World Track Club, and that's how I got into track and field. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be here talking to you. All right, so we've got, okay, what advice would you give, wait, hold on, I lost that. What advice would you give high school coaches programs when preparing their regiments for the track season? Well, the biggest thing is you're in a season, and we're in Houston, let's say. And Houston, to me, is the best city in the entire world for high school track and field. So everyone can make their argument, Florida, California, I get it. But I'm sorry, Houston is it, So the biggest thing is, first of all, make sure in ninth grade, start taking care of your grades in ninth grade, because most kids that don't make it, it's because of ninth grade. So start early in thinking about your academics, and be consistent with that, so you take the pressure off. Secondly, be a part of that program. I know many of you run AAU, and I say to coaches, there is a system. Sometimes kids are passed off to the AAU. Coaches work with each other on that. Let's focus on the kids having fun, because that's who's going to run the best. If you have a great kid in 9th, 10th, 11th grade, manage their careers, because you always don't have the kid that's best in 9th grade or 10th grade is not always going to be the best kid. There was a study a few years ago when, if you looked at AAU Nationals, the most successful kid in the 15-16 group was 5th place. So all the phenoms young, let's get away from that. Let's just all let them be kids, let them have fun, give them a basic training program. And then if you have a club coach in the summer, sometimes high school coaches do both, and some of them just work with it. But just work with the club coaches so there's a smooth transition back and forth, because it helps everyone for the kids. The World Junior record mentioned was the women's indoor long jump today at 691. I thought the record indoors was farther than that. Well, congratulations, whoever did that. I don't know who did it. It's been a year since I saw you last time in person. Well, I hope that's because of coincidence, not because either of us wanted to do that. Okay, so do you know what to do with groin pain? That's an interesting thing. Number one, make sure you're checked, because I had a groin injury back about 10 years ago, and then I found out it wasn't my groin at all. It was my hip. So get checked all the way through to make sure it's not something else other than just your groin. But the biggest thing is, if you're groin, you're probably reaching and you're running. So, hey, we have the book. I'm plugging the book, and learn about your running technique. And because your feet should go down kind of like a bicycle, and you may be reaching, and also get your hip checked, because that's a possibility. What group do you coach at U of H? I coach men and women sprinters, and I work with the men and women long jumpers as well. That's it. Coach Burrell does the hurdlers and the 400-meter runners, and he works with the triple jumpers. Coach Blackburn does the throws, and he also helps with triple jump from time to time. And Coach Tellez, Coach Tellez's son, Kyle Tellez, he works with the pole vault, the high jump, and the Maltese. And then Coach Magnus takes care of the distance. And then we have Frank Rutherford, who's a school record holder and NCAA champion. He works a lot with the triple jumpers, and he's done a tremendous job. And my sister Carol came in a couple of years ago and started helping us to the long jump, and lo and behold, that's when the long jump got better. So she was really important in Tremaine Jefferson's career. So we have a balance. And then outside of that, we have Rakaya Gibson, who was a very successful high school coach here at Cy Springs. She really helps tremendously in the Springs, not just the women, but also the men. And Sandra Glover, who was a 400-meter hurdler at Huston, she works with Coach Burrell, and it's a huge help on the women's side there. So we have a really successful group of coaches between on the staff and also volunteering and helping out. But I'll tell you, we need every single one of them. And with Rakaya and Sandra coming in, it really was a big boost to our program. So I'm going to give a shout out to them as well. I'm seeing a lot of the athletes now. Cameron is in the house. Yeah, Cameron's in the house. What up? Let me see if I see some of the athletes. Are you doing okay after the freeze? Well, I am okay. I'm better than most. So power was out for a couple of days, and I came in one night, and this house was at 38 degrees inside. Indoor plants looked like they were left out in the cold. And I had a couple of water breaks inside, but I was able to turn the water off, and I'm fine. Don't even put me in the top 5% of the problems that most people are having. And fortunately, I had some water, and I have gas stoves, so I was able to at least cook. So I was okay. I was okay compared to the ones that are really challenged. So I'm not even thinking about going to get water or anything like that. Just leave it for the people that really need it. Do you think it's possible to react faster than, by false starting? I don't think the limit's the issue. I think that instead of worrying about, let me get into my pet peeve. You asked me about the start. I think the first problem at the start is that false start should not be determined by the starter. The starter should start the race, and they should use video afterwards and false start officials during to call a false start. Because we were at Texas A&M, and it has nothing to do with them. It was the officials. The starting officials were absolutely abysmal, and the attitude was nasty. It was not about the athletes, and I think it was completely and totally and 100% unacceptable that you treat athletes like that, especially in a pandemic time when, this week we were supposed to go to a meet yesterday, and because of the weather we couldn't go. And then they canceled our conference meet. So what happens with a kid misses by 1/100 because you're playing around with their races? So I think that if we not worry about the reaction time, because if you're talking about 1/100th of a second, it could make the difference at the end. But to me, instead of worrying about how quick we get out, you should just focus on listening for the gun and reacting. I 100% agree with no false starts, because wait for the gun. But I also think we need to hold the starters more accountable when they make mistakes, because right now there's no accountability for officials or starters. And I've had issues with officials. One time we were in Kansas, and the official would not wipe a wet board when people are jumping. And I had to get a little indignant about that, because we're talking about kids' lives. What if their knee was blown out doing it? That official goes home and has dinner, and this person's in rehab for a year. What if you hold someone too long, or you call something wrong at the start? Well, it could affect their whole season. I saw a meet where the starter did a terrible job. He held too long and called it the official. Then the next one, she shot it immediately, and a kid actually fell and rolled over on the track because it was so startled. So I think accountability is the biggest issue that we have at the start, and doing it in a way that you want to make sure the athletes have the best opportunity to be the best they can be. What is your favorite Olympic medal you have, and why? That is from, the first one and the last one, I guess, are a tie. The first one because you don't get 9 unless you have 1. And then the last one was just phenomenal. To win in Atlanta, my second Olympics in my home country. It was my only event, and all these people are watching this event and all the pressure, and I was 35 years old. That was really special. That moment was really special. And I think that at the end, when I'm on the victory stand, and so many people stayed to watch the victory, and then I was able to share that last moment with my father. And then to walk off the podium that day, I knew I never wanted to jump again. It didn't matter. He said, don't send me money. It doesn't matter. Don't offer. I don't want to jump anymore. And I didn't. And I retired the next year. So I would say, it's like one is that, and 1A is the first one. Okay, hold on. Do you still have any connection? Yes, I still have a connection with Joe Douglas, who is the founder of the. Wait, hold on. I think my dog is having a dream. Hey. Yeah, yeah. He has dreams all the time. I don't know what that's about. But maybe it's that little filly down the street or something. I don't know. I live on the bayou, so they can see dogs coming by. And I think it was like some little cute poodle that was over here. He's dreaming about or something. I don't know. But anyway, so. Yeah, I just, wait, hold on. What's the name of the book? The name of the book is, wait a minute here. It's on my Instagram. Hold on. I have to say it right because I always, the name of my book, The Art of Speed. Hold on. I got to make sure I say it right. I guess that's the best way to sell it, huh? Okay, hold on. The Science of Speed, The Art of the Sprint. The Science of Speed, The Art of the Sprint. That's it. Oh, that wasn't it. That's it. And you can buy it on Amazon. AJ Atkinson says, who did you relish racing against the most? Funny thing about that is that when my career started, I got to number 1, and then along came Ben Johnson, and then that went down, and then along came Leroy Burrell, and then along came Linford Christie. So it was just nonstop someone else. And then in the long jump, it was Larry Marks and then Mike Powell. So I always had someone that I had to get ready for because my career lasted so long. I think the bigger issue is that there were so many people and all of them beat me at some point. So it was never an easy task. And in the long jump, Mike Powell beat me at times at the end of my career, the second half, not the end by no means, the second half of my career. And Larry Marks beat me right in the beginning of my career. So it wasn't like I never lost. It's just that, I would say that my goal was not to lose on TV so you would know, okay? All right, I'm gonna go. What were your thoughts of growing importance of training groups and teams and pro distance and all that stuff? Well, I think it's more important to have teams that are sponsored, and which is like with Santa Monica, we had sponsored teams in the train with. At one point, Leroy Burrell, myself, Mike Marsh, Mark Witherspoon, Floyd Hurd were 5 in the finals of the U.S. Nationals. And so you're talking about 5 of the top 8 in the United States and 5 of the top 10 in the world. When you're training with them, you know what's going on Wednesday. You don't have to wait till Saturday, and that was, I think it's important and it's good to have it. But I think we need to focus more on training groups, getting to teams that can be sponsored so that we can find a way to put money back in the sport. And that's one of the ways they changed the way things are. They went from training track teams like Athletics West and Santa Monica Track Club to the training group. And the coaches get paid for it, but the athletes get a shoe contract, but there's no support system. And you have to build that support system. So I wish more we would focus on, and USATF would take an energy to focus on getting sponsors to sponsor groups of people to create teams again. So now we're getting sponsorships in different ways. What do you think of Sean Maswangani? Yeah, Sean. Well, Sean's a freshman on our team from South Africa. He's a great kid. He's going to, looks like he was probably going to make his Olympic team as a freshman in college. I'm really proud of him. He's a great kid to coach, great attitude. He's going to run well and be a part of a phenomenal relay team. But I expect him to run fast. I'm not going to put numbers and things out there. That's not fair to him. But here again, I really have a great group of kids to train. And when you look at the roster from top to bottom on the men's side, with of course Sean, and then Travis Collins, Terrence Ware, seniors, Shakarius Martin, who's NCAA champion, he's a senior, and then gosh, there's so many of them. We have 15 sprinters, so it's a whole list. But I just mentioned the seniors and Sean because someone asked. And then we've got Nick Alexander was also a part of the relay team in 2018 that won. He was a part of that relay group. And then we have some young kids. Jaquan Hoyt. Jaquan ran for Barbados national team, and he's a junior here this year. So I didn't mention everyone, but and there's a kid, Chris Hamberlin, who's a transfer, phenomenal, doing really, really well for us. And so we're just excited about what we have. And I didn't mention everyone. Of course, they're going to dog me Monday. But I think the issue is that we wanted to build a program from the inside out, develop kids to become fast, and also teach them how to focus on themselves, do what they're supposed to do in the classroom, and then if they have an opportunity to have a post-collegiate career. I have kids on the team right now that may move up to the 400 next year. So we're also looking at other things like that. But we take pride in being homegrown. I mean, Jordan Booker, Eddie Sumler, they're right from Huston. They're both 20-point sprinters out of high school. They're here. They look great. So we've got a really good group, mainly here, but we've got some kids from out of town. And this year I'm excited that we're working really well with the football program. And I want to say something about the football program and what Dana and the whole team's they came in, they're putting together the program. They want to be successful. We have a wonderful relationship with the football program, with the weight room. We're going to have a couple of kids on the team from football this year. And it's been the best relationship that I've had in the few years that I've been here. I know they had some great relationships before us, but it's been phenomenal. And Coach Sampson, what they're doing with basketball is phenomenal. And all the programs are really dedicated now to really get things done. I see that women's basketball is just, Coach Hughley, the women's basketball team's having a great year. So I'm just excited to be, with H-Town Speed sitting at U of H right now. But I'm still a little salty with this conference though, and I'm not finished with y'all. But U of H is, I'm really pleased what's going on right now. Okay, I'm going to have a few questions more because I'm hungry. What is the longest distance you have ever run, even if not for 4 miles once. And the only reason I did that, because I was running on San Vicente in Santa Monica. Anyone that knows Santa Monica knows that. And I didn't realize it was 4 miles because Joe Douglas had me run with the distance runners. And I was the only, went out and went back. And wow, that was it. He goes, oh, that was 4 miles. So that's it. On San Vicente. So all you Santa Monica, not track club people only, but anyone that lives in Santa Monica, all the casual runners that go, I did 4 miles on San Vicente, up San Vicente and back. So you kind of know what it is. All right. Talk about low heel recovery and toe drag. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I wrote the book. I think that we have to base things on science, and science. Coach Tellez wrote something about low heel recovery back in the 1980s, and he didn't call it that. I can't remember, but he talked about you basically changing the cycle of the way the foot goes. And the toe drag, I'm honestly, I just don't understand that came from. I'm just being honest. We all know that friction slows things down, so why are we creating friction? You want to be able to put your foot in position to push, and if your foot stays on the ground, it can't push. It needs to cycle to be able to push, and I just don't quite understand that. So we don't do that here, and we base our training and my teaching is based on science. All right, from Haiti. Hey, Haiti, I like that. A few years ago as a UN ambassador, I went to Haiti, and not far after the earthquake, and we were working on reforestation because the forests were down a lot because people had used it. So I love Haiti and love the Dominican Republic next door. I know a lot of the administrators and people that work in those countries. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and I'm always rooting for Haiti. So hey, Haiti. Okay, any chance to have another book, read to, and have the one with Coach Tellez really like you? Oh, thank you. Regards to the false start. Thank you so much. Oh, that was a new question. What about long jumping? Checking the distance regarding the takeoff pad. No. I think we should have a board. I think we should have fouls. To me, the long jump is the hardest event in track and field. You can say all these other events. I'm not talking about difficult like the 400 hurdles or the 800 or distances or the pole vault, but there are so few events that have so many things have to happen in so little time. And then if you're going to long jump far, you're going to do something you're genetically predisposed not to do. So I think it just makes it more challenging. And if we just jump from anywhere, well, then it just takes away the importance of the approach, because the approach outside, dealing with the wind and all the elements. I just thought that that just made it harder, and it made it more difficult to do, and I think it's better for the sport. Leave the board there, leave the foul there, and go with it. And I like how they're filming everything so we know, because in my days, some guy going to say foul and wasn't even looking, you know. Okay. Do you think this crop of sprinters at U of H will run faster than the 17, 18 teams in the 4x1 when it's all set? Well, obviously the team in 2018, 2017 was phenomenal. 2018 was definitely the best team. To run that fast in that weather, in that rain, was just phenomenal. But if you go right now, I think we have more speed because the goal is different. In that time, we wanted to break the collegiate record, which was 38:23, and now the goal is to run 37. And so if you look at our personal best, with Sean is 10:06 and Jaquan is 10:07, and just go down the list, and Terrence is 10:16. I'm sorry, yeah, Sean, Jaquan, Travis Collins is 10:09, and then Terrence is 10:16. Nick Alexander's 21. Eddie Summers 22. If you just look at that group right there, that's just phenomenal. I mean, that's 6 people that have run under 10:22 on one team and 3 under 10:10. So they told me that they're going to self-select, because that's the way I do the relay. I don't select people; the team self-selects. And they said we're going to run 37. You know, and they really feel like they can run 37:75, and that's their goal. They told me. So my job is to help them get it. So yes, I do think the team's now better. And the great thing about it, Elijah Hall, Mario Burke, they still train around there. They get a chance to see those guys. Mario and Travis and Terrence and Nick were all on the same team. Eli was on the same team with Nick. So a lot of the guys know each other. So yeah, and there's no shame in the game. You know, it's not like don't break our school record. You know, a lot of cases they say the NCAA record needs to come back. It's a phenomenal record, a great team, and they're like, we need to bring it back. Okay, thank you for helping me. Okay. Can you explain the benefits of Olympic lifting? Oh, Lord mercy. You know, obviously lifting is to get you stronger, you know, and I think that there's huge benefits to lifting, but I'm also always leery of weight. You know, a lot of people say, well, I'm heavier because I lifted. Well, it's still weight you have to carry. So I think there's a balance between getting stronger and gaining weight is the thing that I'm always focused on. You and Michael Johnson should raise a 200 for a charity event or something. Well, if they can raise a lot of money, we could do something. I'm sure Michael would, but it won't be a race. It'll just be a get from the start to the finish line. You know, I'm 59 and Michael's up there too. So, you know, I think that if we could raise some money to do something, I'm sure Michael would. And I'd be glad to, and I'm sure Michael would, because he really loves the sport, and I'm sure he'd love to get back. You took some sand, i.e. Martina at Wimbledon. Yeah, I did take some sand from the Olympics, and I mean, because you know, when something's a part of your life like that, you want to keep the piece of it. So I still have some sand. I've given some for charity, and some friends have had pieces of it, but the actual sand, not like, yeah, I have it, and then made up some stuff. No. Okay, I want to ask you, how can I come to USA to train from Morocco? I'm an athlete, long jumper. Well, first of all, can I come visit Morocco? I hear it's beautiful. I've been to Algeria, but not Morocco. Send me a direct message, and we'll see what we can do. All right. So I see names. Elijah Hall joined. He's on here. Jumpers World's on here. You jump off one leg and your lead leg out of the blocks with the other leg. Was that done on purpose? Great observation. Actually, I was supposed to jump off the same leg, the left leg, because it's a stronger leg, but I felt more comfortable jumping off my right leg. Now, in high school, I injured my knee when I was 13, and so I was always a right-legged jumper. And then in high school, I started jumping off my left to save the right foot, because I didn't realize I was stopping at the board. So it was just more comfortable, because that's the foot I kick with, and it was just more comfortable for me to jump off the right. But the left leg is definitely a stronger one. Lots of coaches have different approaches on sprint practice. One coach said sprinters should never do anything over 200. I disagree. Okay. Well, I'm not going to like disagree with what coaches say, but what we do is we run over in the fall. We do a lot of timed running and tempo running, and the whole purpose is to get you in shape for the spring training season, not the season. And we run, as people know, we run 300 and 4.32s. We run 400s all the time here, and that's to vary the tempo to get your strength training. And I'm going to tell you something. You can ask any athlete at U of H track and field, and if you run that fall hard and you run those 400s hard, you'll get faster. And there's a kid on our team, Chris Hamberling, who came here. I told him to lose some weight. He did, and then he came here in the fall, and he killed it in the time runs. And his times have dropped dramatically indoors. And so it just shows that it's not just short sprinting. You vary the tempo. You get the strength. Running that longer stuff really does help you get faster. Can you say happy birthday to Gideon, Gidon, please? He is my uncle, and he competed in the 200 in Sydney and was too shy to say hello. Well, I guess I just did say happy birthday. So you're probably like in your 50s or something. Watch, I get a direct message. I'm not 50 yet. I'm 43. But happy birthday. All right, I'm gonna. Mike Marsh could be among the best today. Do you coach a club team? No, I just coach some post-collegiate athletes. Do you ever have a recruit turn down the opportunity to be coached? Well, it's not really coached by me. It's to come to the university, because remember, you have to get the university, the people, the coaches, the system. So it's a whole thing. I'm not a hater. Every single kid that I've communicated with that I recruited that did not come, I never delete them. There'll be some times when I see a kid struggling that I recruited, and I'll even send them a message of encouragement. Hey, hang in there. It's going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. Because to me, it's about the kids, not that. Look, I won 9 Olympic gold medals. I'm financially independent. I have a great family, great friends. So I have no need or reason to be a hater. I don't really need anything from the kids other than their success. They're not going to get me paid more. They're not going to I don't want a head coaching job. I don't want to move. So there's really nothing I can get out of them except their success. And that's what I'm really focused on. Just wanted to say, okay, thank you for that. Okay. All right. I'm going to, what is your fastest 400? Yes, I did. I ran 47, I think 03 or something. 1 year I ran the 400. The only part of coincidence, track was the only part of the AC to have conference canceled. It is a coincidence. And I think that there was really no explanation other than we wanted to be safe. Well, we have a safe environment at our facility, but that was turned down too. So it's a huge coincidence as to why it's just track and field and not everything. It has nothing to do with the other sports. I think it's fabulous the other sports are running, but why is track canceled? And why was it done so early? And why does it seem like it was just so deliberate? When of all the sports that the Olympic sports, track and field has the best opportunity to win national championships. So not only as a team, but also as individual championships. And they've won a national championship every single year for the last 5 years. So why is track the one? Okay. All right, I think we're going to. I'm going to do something though, real quick. I was just thinking about it because I'm sitting in front of this camera, this picture, and what I'm going to do is that I'm getting off in a minute, but I'm going to show you guys some things here. So this is like a family picture we have, and so look at me when I was like young, really goofy. See there, I still can't see, and just some really interesting pictures on here. Those are my parents, Bill and Evelyn. And look at this picture. See that little guy in the white shirt on the end? That's me, and that's Jesse Owens. When I was like 10 or 11, I met Jesse Owens. And that was really, really, really a special time. And just my parents in college, my mother down there in college, and family pictures. But this was a really interesting picture. This is Hall of Fame. And in this picture is Bill Yeoman. That's me, Guy Lewis, Clyde Drexler, Akeem Olajuwon. Oh, I messed it all up. Yeah, so we were all in the same class. We were at school at the same time, just all these Hall of Fame guys. So I just want to show you some of those things, and I'm going to close this out right now. I've been on here for a long time. but I'm gonna start doing more of this, and just send me some notes and messages and send me questions, either on Instagram or on Twitter. But I'm in a great place right now, and I'm loving what I'm doing. I love working with U of H Cougar Track and Field, H-Town Speed City. Oh, if you want an H-Town Speed City t-shirt, here's one of them. You can go to my website, carllewis.com, you can get them there. But the biggest thing is that I love all you guys. How do you have some little goofy kid from Williamsboro, New Jersey, who can grow up and be in this position I am? And we're gonna have a great year. We're gonna have a great season, and look out for that relay team. Look out for these guys. But the biggest thing is that I'm really happy to be with them, and we'll figure out this conference thing. But I'll tell you this, I know for a fact right now they're not going to cancel the outdoor conference meet. And H-Town Speed City will be there, ready to show them, not only there, that's it, but what they're doing when they're cutting track and field. Not just us, but all the teams in our conference had a shot. Because so many teams have had great athletes in our conference that would have had a shot, but they basically said, we don't care about your nationals, we don't care about your conference. So we'll see you guys soon. Send me a message if you want anything. And I appreciate you following me live. All of you, do me a favor, spread my Instagram number. I'm going to be updating more. I took a break now. I'm going to be updating more about 360. And follow me here. Follow me at Rebel360. You'll see that on there. And also Carl _Lewis on Twitter. All right. I am peace out. Boom.